So the desperate journey to flee death and destruction in Ukraine is continuing. More than 2.8 million people have fled Ukraine since the Russian invasion began nearly 3 weeks ago. Our team is Przemyl in Poland. Let's cross now to Siphamandla Goge with the latest on the ground. Siphamandla, where are you in Przemyl, and tell us what you've been watching and seeing since you got there.
We are in Przemyl. It's a town between or closer to the border between Poland and Ukraine. The border is Medica. You mentioned that more than 2.7 million people have fled the Ukraine. About 1.7 million of those people have made their way to Poland. They are in various towns and cities, and this town of Przemyl has welcomed many people. We are told by authorities that they anticipate or they estimate that a day it welcomes close to 30,000 people, and most of them, their first transit camp is this humanitarian aid center which is in Przemyl, and the gentleman next to me is the one who is responsible together with his colleagues to run this center as volunteers. Thank you very much for your time. How dire is the situation? What are you dealing with here?
There's a lot of people coming in. It's 24/7, so there is no single hour that there is more or less people. It varies. Yesterday it was very heavy night. We had a lot of people coming in. We even had to close the entrance. I mean, we needed to redirect the people because it was full. We accepted all that came. We gave them shelter, food, water. Of course, everything is for free. We are organizing transportation to various places, both in Poland and in Europe and even outside of Europe, by buses, by private cars, by trains.
I went inside there. It's packed, women, children and elderly people. It's devastating to see what is happening. What have you observed in terms of the pattern of those who have been arriving here?
Well, they are welcomed. We are trying to provide them as comfortable place to stay to wait as possible. We are providing them beds or mattresses. As I said before, water and food is given to them. There are also psychologists in here. There are also medical teams. There is a Polish scouting organization running the registration of both drivers and refugees, trying to match them together so they can safely go to their destination, whether they have it or they are just looking their new home.
Are you able to estimate how many people have passed through this center? I know it may be difficult because every minute there are new arrivals, others leave, others remain here. In terms of the number of people that you are dealing with, are you able to tell us roughly how many that you have already processed here?
I've been here for 4 days. And I honestly must say, you need to rely on the authorities in here because we are not able to estimate it. We are in the center, in the middle of the action, and we just see a lot of people coming in and leaving. So I can't give you any even rough estimates.
It's been devastating for most of them. I see elderly women here. Emotionally, how has it been for you working here? You work long hours and you are dealing with a lot of people who are traumatized.
Last weekend I was in Medica and I cried a lot. In here I had no time to cry. I'll do it afterwards. It is devastating, it's hard, but we are trying to always be smiling and at least cheering them up in a even little bit. We are doing what we can to make them welcomed, to feel that they are welcomed in here, and we are helping them. But it is hard, definitely.
There have been growing calls for other countries in Europe to basically open up their borders, take more people, because Poland has absorbed the highest number of refugees. What will be your call to the international community during this crisis?
Yes, please do open refugee centers. Please try to find them accommodation, place to live and place to work. Most of them, definitely, almost all of them, they just want a regular life. They are young kids, mothers, elderly people as well. They want a place to stay, not being on social funds, but they want to work as well. They want to have a safe place they can stay in.
And some of them come here with their pets. You know, the petting that I've observed at the border, they will be carrying one suitcase and their pets, whether cats or dogs. Do you have like animal centers to cater for that?
Yes, there is a small private animal center right in here, outside, with some food, and there is also a veterinarian help. Inside, we are providing everything that a pet may need, so water, food, and everything. Yes, we are trying to help the pets as well, because this is important. They're scared.
And I guess medical supply and medical attention is what they need the most, because some of them would have left without taking their medication. Some of them are really old, and I'm sure you've got that covered as well.
Yes, it is covered. The people are very generous. They are helping us in any possible way. They are providing medical supplies. They're stored in a warehouse. Yes, they are being served the best help we can provide with the medical team as well.
The longer the war rages on, the longer and more time you need and space to cater for people. It will not look good for you, because you said yesterday you had to close and not take any more people in.
Yeah, it was temporary. We just needed to let the authorities know that they need to redirect it for a moment, because it was cold outside and we couldn't allow the people to wait outside too long. We accepted as many as possible inside, registered, and provided them shelter, food, and everything.
Thank you very much for your time. Let's release you. You need to go back to work. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That is one of the volunteers here who is running this humanitarian aid center in Przemyl. Przemyl is one of the towns that is closer to the medical border between Ukraine and Poland. I'm going to ask my colleague Joe Omane if we still have time to show you the visuals of this old lady. Her name is Anna. She arrived yesterday via the medical border. We were there. She only came with that bag that she has. She's been traveling alone. She's about 75 years old, and she said she left everything behind and came here. She used this center as the center where she was able to get accommodation. So yesterday she was waiting for her son to come, and then her son did not come to pick her up. So that's the story. Too many old people here. They are saying, well, they are waiting to be assisted.
It's heartbreaking to see her face, Sipa. She looks absolutely broken. And one wonders, Poland's not a particularly wealthy country in Europe, and one wonders how long they can carry on helping these refugees as they stream in. And of course, goodwill fatigue also sets in after a while. We'll cross back to you at a later stage. Thank you so much. That was eNCA's Siphamandla Goge with the latest in Poland.